Hi everyone, my name is Beverly, and this is part one of How to Play the Corporate Game First 90 Days edition. I have a series, I should say. I have a pre-application series, an application series, an interview series, a first 90 day series, and then keeping the job series that'll provide nuanced tips that are applicable to folks in a very tactile manner. I've seen a lot of feedback on these apps and other spaces that just, they're not giving you the nuanced tips that you really need to be able to be set up for success. And as a COO of a company who's been doing this for over 10 years, I want you to be successful. So for this first 90 day tip, one of the most important things you can do in your first 90 days is within your first 2 weeks on the roll, you need to schedule a meeting with your supervisor to go over the following: expectations, yours and theirs, KPIs, yours and the department's, and your growth plan. Now, let me be very clear. For expectations, this is not the time to draw lines in the sand. I want you to keep the job, friends. You just got the job. I want you to keep the job. This is not the time to say what you will and won't be doing and what's not going to happen. Not the time. That time will come, because boundaries are important. But this isn't that time. What I mean, more specifically, is empowering your manager to be empowered to support you, and you being empowered to support them. So, for example, how you like to receive feedback. That's an expectation you can set. So let's say you make a mistake at work, because we all do. How you like to receive that feedback. Because how many of us have gotten that dreaded, like, can I have a conversation? Can I talk to you? Can we sidebar really quick? I'm guilty of this too. And every time it's can be anxiety inducing, because you're like, shoot, what did I do? So setting that expectation with your supervisor, like, hey, when I mess up, I'd prefer to be told this way. Same thing about recognition. Not everybody likes their birthday celebrated. Not everybody likes important moments in their life celebrated. Not everybody likes a lot of attention on them. And on the other side of things, people like a lot of attention. People feel appreciated if they have, there's recognition systems in place for them. So make sure you get those in place too, because I've accidentally done that a few times in my career, where I've had a birthday celebration prepared for an employee who did not want their birthday celebrated, and I felt so bad, because the last thing that I want, and I want any leader to do, is accidentally be causing harm because they weren't aware. And so this is a proactive measure to make sure that all of those things are out in the open. On the manager side, their expectations of you. So a good example of this is I have one expectation that I'll say to my team is the falling forward mentality. So to me, we're all going to make mistakes. It's fine. How do we fall forward? And what I mean by that is, I don't like a lot of rumination. I don't like people pointing fingers. I don't like people gossip. I don't like a lot of that, because it's reductive to business. It doesn't move us forward, and it's negative. Instead, I want the employee to validate that the mistake happened, create steps to fix it. And then we're going to do a retro together. We're going to come back together, and it's going to be like, okay, how do we fall forward? How do we create systems so that this doesn't happen again? How do we make sure that we can maintain this? And now we're having a proactive discussion. I set that tone for my team because I try to do the same thing. Where I make a mistake, I'm like, okay, this is how I did to fix it. And it's empowering them also to come to the table with solutions, so they can be a part of the solution. Next is KPIs, or goals, right? Like key performance indicators. Key performance indicators are basically what your metrics are. What are you being measured on? If you recently hired to be a patient care advocate or a patient care customer service representative, how many calls are you expected to make a day? How many patients are you expected to triage a day? Make those metrics really clear. Now, your manager may not have all of those answers right away. This is why you want to send that email for this meeting a week in advance, so they can have those answers for you. But if you have that meeting and they still don't, then you guys need to leave that meeting having devised some of those together. Even if it's 3, you need to know what you're being graded on. If it's sales, how many clients am I expected to close? If it's tech, how many projects am I supposed to be working on? Make that super, super clear. And then what are the KPIs for the department? So where are we at with goals right now? What are our metrics right now that we're being graded on? And that will also help give you bigger context as to what is impacting your leader and what your leader is thinking about. Because if they're getting feedback from the top that your team needs to be outputting XYZ, you need to know that, because if there are solutions that you can bring to the table to help with that, now you have the context. And you can empower your whole team. You can support your team, support your manager, support everyone towards the grander goal, while also meeting your own metrics. Finally, it is really important that you start having the conversation early about what your growth plan is. Now, I want to be super, super clear that this is not the time to be like, so when's my next promotion? We just got there. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is asking them what the roadmap is for your growth. Where are there opportunities for growth? If that's something you're interested in, are there conferences that the company will support that I can attend? What are certifications that you think I may need to have later on down the line? What are things that I could be looking out for that could help me be a better whatever my role is? Even if I'm not moving up and I'm really comfortable where I am, what are some additional tools that I could get that would help me be that much better? What are some softwares or some trainings that I could get? Does the company have any resources to help me continue to upskill? That is so important because it lets your manager know that you are thinking about your growth. You're a growth minded person. It also empowers you to be advocating for some additional resources as you continue to upskill, because a lot of times there's trainings, there's conferences, all these things can be really expensive at times, and a lot of people just don't ask. Like, I created a professional development budget at a company I worked for, where I think every employee after their first 90 days got like $500 that they could use throughout the whole year, and then they could apply for more if it was relative to their work experience. And like, the first year, not a lot of people used it, but then the second year, more people used it. So sometimes like folks don't even know that they can ask for things, and it's helpful because you want to continue to be developing your skill set, even if you're not necessarily interested in being a manager. Like, if you're wanting to be a really strong independent contributor, then you can still be upskilling during that process too. So it's great to have that conversation early, because then you can be thinking about, okay, so these are some other things that I can be doing to help improve yourself, your resume, but also the team and the team environment. So in summary, get in the first 2 weeks, schedule a meeting. It can be within that first month. Schedule a meeting to go over your expectations, their expectations of you, key performance indicators, so you know what you're being graded against, and then you'll crush it, because I know you will. And then make sure that you have the very, very clear understanding of where the growth opportunity is for you, where are there opportunities for you to have additional trainings, conferences, so on, so that you can not only demonstrate to your manager that you are equal partnership, equal stake, you're wanting to collaborate, but you're also coming to the table with solutions to help support the whole team and yourself, because all these things will be things you can add to your resume, and KPIs are things that you can add to your resume as well. And finality, send everything that I just said in an email following the meeting. After you have that conversation, whether it's over coffee, food, or nothing, it's sitting in the conference room, have those notes placed in a template, and just very simply, hey, insert manager here, it was so great having a meeting with you. Per our conversation, we discussed the following: KPIs, boom, 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 boom. Expectations, boom, 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 boom. Your expectations, da, 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 da. Department KPIs, da, 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 da. Please reply and let me know if this is accurate, and I look forward to continuing to scale on the team. That not only helps you, it helps the employer, because again, expectations that are, people forget things. I really truly believe that most folks are well-intentioned.